What if I told you that brands are paying $200, $300, up to $1,000 for a single short form video that you can record directly on your smartphone? It is called UGC, which stands for User Generated Content. And in this video, I'm going to give you a guideline. I'm going to show you how you can make these kinds of videos for yourself using basically only your smartphone. And in case you might be thinking like, okay, AI is going to take that away, then probably you're right. In the future, this might happen. But currently, as of recording of this video in May 2020, we're still pretty far away from that. So in case you want to get paid to travel and review some cool products, then make sure you stick around, and yeah, I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing for yourself using just your smartphone. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get going. All right, so before we're going to get started on how UGC works, let's talk about what is UGC in the first place. And I mentioned before, it's called user generated content, but what's the theory behind it? So generally speaking, if a brand brings out a product and it's not Apple, but it's a smaller brand, they want to have influencers and generally speaking just other people that just talk about their product. And this could be a phone case, this could be some kind of a facial cream, this could be whatever. And you could just offer these kinds of services to the brands, and then people or the brands are gonna send you their products. And basically all you need to do is just review the product. Ideally, you're gonna say something positive about it, but obviously I always recommend that you still stay true to yourself and just say your true and honest opinion about the products that you're testing. But that's basically the theory behind it. And why do brands want that? Well, obviously if I make a product, I'm of course gonna say that this is the best product ever and you need to have that, and every brand does that. But if I say that about my own product, then it's not gonna be very, you're just not gonna believe me. So if other people say that, hey, this cream or this case or this whatever is really good, then the brands can just use that for advertisement, and they can just use that to post on their social media, and also the influencers can post it on their profile. So they're just gonna get more brand recognition, and in the end what they just want to sell more products. So that's the theory behind it. But now let's talk about what you need and how you can do that. All right, so let's talk about what you need to get started with your career as a UGC creator. And to be honest, the beautiful thing of that business model is that you truly don't need a lot. What I would recommend that you have is some kind of a smartphone. Generally speaking, what I always recommend, like the newer the phone and the better the phone, the better your video quality is gonna be. But don't think like if you have an iPhone 14 or something like this that you cannot make a UGC career. That does not matter as much. You need obviously also an Instagram account or a TikTok account. Ideally, you also, have an account on Fiverr or Upwork, because that's how people or brands are going to reach out to you. And when it comes to the gear, what I would recommend is that you have some kind of a microphone. The one that I'm using right now is called the Hollyland Lark M2S. That also works seamlessly and super easy with the smartphone. And in case you're not shooting outside and it's not like a super nice day as I have it right now, then I would also recommend that you get, maybe some kind of a ring lights to just light up your face, and maybe some kind of a tripod is also going to be very helpful. But to be honest, like if we just cut out the smartphone and we just look at everything else, like maybe your entire investment is going to be something like maybe like $100, $200, maybe $300, depending on the microphone that you get and depending on the tripod. But it's like a super easy to start business model, and you can land your first client within like just a couple of weeks or just a couple of days really. So it's a very easy business model to get started. And make sure you stick around till the end of the video, because there I'm going to just give you a couple of tips on how you can land your first clients as a UGC creator. All right, so let's talk about shooting UGC videos. And when it comes to shooting these types of videos, I don't think that you need to overthink that. The goal with UGC videos is they should look like this was created by just a random person that just happens to test out some kind of product. So the goal is not to have a cinema camera and to have it like perfectly lit and everything needs to be super clean and polished. They should look real. So for me personally, I have a background as a professional filmmaker, and that's also what I do for a living. So I obviously always try to make my videos look super clean and polished, and I hope you noticed that before. But with UGC content, you basically don't need that. So as I mentioned before, I would recommend to just use your smartphone, and I would still recommend that you use the back camera, because it just delivers better quality compared to the front-facing camera. Make sure that you put your phone on a tripod and just prepare your A-roll shot. The A-roll shot is what you can see right now. This is just you talking into the camera. Make sure that you prepare the script. I'm going to show you how that works using using AI, and then just talk about the product. Just share your experiences, share about what you have been doing with it, how it has been, benefiting you, whatever that you did, whatever that you experienced. Just make sure that you share your experiences. And then what I always recommend is that you also record a couple of B-roll shots where you're just using the product. In this case, where you're opening the lid and where you're just taking out the different microphones and where you're just showing how it works and all that kind of stuff. And if you're doing that for a cream, then make sure that you show how you, put it in your face or on your legs or whatever. Just use the product and just make sure that you capture a couple of B-roll shots, because if people only see you all the time, then the video just gets boring. And that is basically it. Don't overthink that. Don't think that you need like tons of lights and stuff. Like, just to make sure that you are on the same page with me, I'm using natural lighting for this entire video. There has not been any artificial lighting at all. This microphone here is like 150 bucks or something like this. So don't overthink that. Just use the natural resources that you have and you're still gonna get some very awesome results. So don't overthink it. Just make sure that you get creative. All right, so let's talk about creating a script for your first UGC video. If you have never done that before, then this should give you like a rough guideline on how I like to do it. And by the time you have been doing it for a little longer, it's just gonna become a lot easier. So what I'm using is ChatGPT, and basically the prompt that I have been using for this first version is write me a script for me talking about the Holley Landmark M2S, which is this microphone system. I want this to be a UGC style video that is around 30 seconds long. And I also gave ChatGPT like a lot more information about the product itself. With ChatGPT, you're like, it depends a little bit on the type of information that you're giving it to work with. The more information you give, the better your results you're gonna get. So what I have right now is, okay, quick tip if you're filming with your phone or camera, this tiny mic right here, it's a game changer, the Holley Landmark M2S. I'm obsessed with this, super lightweight, clips on super fast. So basically, what I like to use ChatGPT for is just to have a baseline, just to have a guideline. Like usually, or basically like all of the times, I don't like to take anything just word for word and just use everything that ChatGPT is giving me, but just to have a guideline, a starting point, and so that you're not sitting in front of a white piece of paper, I think this is really awesome. So just take that as a base. And then obviously one more thing that I just want to state here, but I think it's obvious, but I just wanted to point it out here, like include your own opinion. Only make videos about products that you have actually used yourself. Like don't make a video about, I don't know, a cream that you have never used before, and don't say things that are not true and honest. So that's something that I just want to give you on the go. Don't just do it for the money. Also stay real to yourself. I know many people are not doing that in the UGC area, but that's how I like to get started, just to have a starting point. And yeah, actually it's not super hard these days with AI. In case you're in the market for a wireless microphone system, I just found one that is very, very awesome. It's this one right here. This is the Holley Landmark M2S. It's the lightest and I think also smallest wireless microphone system that you can buy at the moment. It works super easily on iPhones, which I'm using it for right now. It does also work with cameras, super easy with Android phones as well. It comes with a wind protector. It has 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, has everything that you're ever gonna need. And let me know how you like the sound quality. Huge thanks to Hollyland for sending this over. Make sure you use that coupon code, check it out for yourself, and thanks for watching. After you're done filming, now it's time to start edit your video, and you don't need a laptop and Premiere Pro or Final Cut to do that. You can do it directly on your smartphone. Doesn't matter if you have an Android phone or an iPhone. And today I'm gonna show you how it works with the app CapCut. By the way, we do have an entire CapCut masterclass where we show you step by step how you can edit your videos fast, simple, and easy on your smartphone. Inside of the CapCut masterclass, we have something like 50 videos where we show you everything there is to know about editing your videos. I will link it down below. It's currently on sale for just $47 instead of $99. So grab it now and yeah, just save a couple of dollars here. All right, but for now, I'm just gonna show you some basics of video editing on what I would recommend. So just go here, grab a new project, and then select your A-roll clip. So you can see this is the one that I have been using. And then what I always like to do, just go to trim here directly and then just cut it off until I finally get started, something like this. And then also the same thing at the end. And by the way, you can also do that afterwards in the timeline, but just gonna import it like this. add that to the timeline. So here at the bottom, you have a couple of different options. And what I always like to add to my videos is captions. I want to have captions that look nice. You know, all of the social media content these days has that. CapCut is also providing tons of templates right here. So something like this is usually what I like to use. Then I just grab, tap on generate, and it's doing everything automatically in the background. If there was, you know, a mistake in your video, then obviously I would edit your videos first and then do the captions. But I'm just showing you basically what I'm doing. So then cutting out all of the mistakes, obviously. And then what I like to do is just add a couple of B-roll shots. The way and how you can do that is super simple. Just go to overlay, then add overlay, and then we can basically just grab the shots that we collected, just add that, and then we can just go that to full screen. Now, if we're playing back the video, you can see I'm now putting in these overlays. And you know, we can also animate them. We could use a split screen. We can enhance the voice. There are just a ton of different things. As mentioned before, I'm not gonna walk you through the entire process right now. Otherwise, this video will be an hour long. But generally speaking, make sure that you cut out all of the mistakes. Make sure that you add captions. Also, make sure that you add some background music, and just make sure that you add also tons of B-roll shots so that the video is not boring for the viewer, but that it is actually exciting and that people want to watch the video. So that is basically it. Again, in case you want to have a full breakdown and a full guideline on how this works, then make sure you check out our CapCut Masterclass. All right, so let's talk about my conclusion when it comes to creating user-generated content. Is it still worth pursuing that in 2025, or should you start to use AI for everything? To be honest, if you are looking for a side hustle, if you're interested in that, if you like to film content, if you like to test products, then I still think that in 2025, this is a very good business model to get started. Because basically everything that you need is your smartphone, maybe a microphone, maybe a ring light. But as you have seen throughout this video, I have basically only been using my iPhone and a microphone, and it still works super fine, and brands are paying for this. Is AI gonna replace us as real people? To be honest, probably at some point it is gonna happen, but we have to see on how other people are reacting to this. Because like, if I know that a video or, you know, something is created by AI, for me personally, it's a little bit loses its, you know, it's not as interesting anymore, because it's like no human has created this, and it's like, yeah, what's the point of this? Because maybe I'm old school, but I like to have human interactions, and I like to have imperfections, and I like to have, you know, just real human beings sharing experiences, because in the end, that's what we're all, you know, that's what life is about, experiencing things, sharing things with other people, and just, you know, being humans at the end of the day. But it is still a very viable business model. You can get started with that for, you know, with basically without any investment, because like worst case, if you are just getting started and you're just using the internal microphone of your iPhone, of your smartphone, then it's still gonna be good enough to just get started. Also, if you don't have a light, just shoot outdoors as I have been doing it. And yeah, in case you want to learn more about UGC content, in case you want to have a full breakdown on also on how you can land clients in the first place, then make sure that you comment down below. We might make like a whole video series on this, because I do think it is a very hot topic at the moment. But thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure what's your take on UGC content as a whole. And in case you have not seen the video where I'm reviewing Instagram's answer to CapCut, then make sure you watch this video over there. Bye bye.